continue to do, even with the restrictions, with the small amount of people that would be going out to these things. They could be non-sanctioned club events, but they can be amongst our club members setting that up and doing it however they want, which is what it really is. It's just however the club members want to do it, they can go out there and do it. We're not restricting them. The only thing we've kind of said to our members is please don't look like we're flaunting any of the rules or anything like that by congregating and tight people. I mean, we talk about that there's unfortunately people that want to catch people out there, and all it takes is one picture sent to the news of our club or our track out there just full of people, license plates from all over the different states, and just packed out there, and it's just a bad PR thing. So that's one of those things we really have stressed to our membership, is to just be cognizant of your surroundings and what's going on. And as long as you're following those rules, then we've got nothing to hide, nothing to worry about, and we should be okay.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate there are those people out there, but I've even seen on Facebook, even within our karting community, people just kind of stirring it up a little bit. It's like, what is the point of this?
Right.
If you're not comfortable going out, stay indoors. That's fine. But don't intentionally, cause havoc for other people. But that's
right.
Just different personalities. So I mean, I have to ask this question. It's because you said you repaved the track or you resealed the track. Did you guys fix the curbs coming on the straightaway?
Coming onto the straightaway. So your exit curbing.
Yes. The last time I drove that track, I'm going to date myself. It's been probably 15 years. And prior to that, you were able to go through turns 8 and 9 flat out onto the straightaway. I can't remember if we had to make a quick downshift to rotate the cart, but you're pretty much flying over the curbs coming on the straightaway. If you missed it, you ended up in or over the fence. But if you hit it just right, then the straightaway was just that much longer. And then shortly after that, they added actually like real sidewalk curbs. Like they were not rounded, they were curbs. And they were definitely intentional to stay away. Have they smoothed those out yet?
No. So the entry curb going into that little mini chicane before the straightaway is a huge curb that you do not want to touch. But just like anything, you have to get within a hair of it to be fast. So yes. It's a tough curb. It's one of those curbs that when you're watching racing, your heart kind of goes in your stomach when you see 2 wide, 3 wide going to that point, because something's going to have to give. There is no usable curve there. And so that's always one of those kind of, let's see how this plays out. And then when you get through that, there is a little bit of a curb on the right-hand side for what we call 8B. It'll upset the cart if you ding it, but most of the time, if you hit the entry curb or entry into 8 right, you're going to be fine for that. But you were talking about the exit, and it's a usable curb, but it just ends and goes right to dirt. Okay. And then it's about a foot, and you're right into the safer barriers, So, and that's happened. That's definitely one of those where someone goes through that chicane and kicks up a little dirt because they drop a wheel on the inside part, and then the following carts that come through are just like on ice. And it's scary. That's where we have an important flagger position right there for that reason alone.
Yeah, and I've ended up into the fence on that turn for that exact reason. Someone dropped a tire, put a bunch of sand on the track, and me and 2 other carts were the next group through there, and it was just like follow the leader. Boom, boom, boom. Three people instantly off the track.
Collected all in the corner, just like that. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it, and I've only been there a couple of years, but yeah, it happens, unfortunately.
Yeah, and each track, I mean, each karting track has its own little characteristics, but I did have to ask you that, because the last time I was up there, they used to have just such a beautiful curb section that, again, if you missed it, you were still in the fence, and you were going a lot faster. I know why they put the curbs there, because it definitely slowed the Carter down coming on the straightaway. But that definitely is not forgiving.
No, that's that and gosh, I love watching the shifters go through there because they are just sliding through in a way. I mean, it's fun because we have a really great track for spectating, and we've done a good job in the last couple of years of kind of consolidating our bleachers into a really good area that we could probably have 40, 50 people watching right there. And you see every aspect of the track, but it is right there as they're coming through the exit of turn 9, the final turn. And I mean, they're just full on. I think they're pulling a gear halfway through there. It's the high G section, and it's just fun to watch. So, I mean, if anyone that has thought about coming to our track to watch a race, that's where you want to be. You want to watch them coming through there.
Yeah, no, Reno has always been, it's always been one of my favorite tracks. The layout's fun. When you get the corkscrew figured out, that's a lot of fun. And there's been some great races up there as well.
That's what I've heard. I mean, I'm so new in the karting that I just take everyone's word for it. And I've heard a number of people that rave about our track and elevation changes, technical corners, really just a fun track, good long straightaway passing section. But it sounds like there's a lot of good tracks all around the region, and us as karters in this area are very fortunate to have so many great tracks all around us. And it would be really cool if we kind of had a grouping of all the clubs and tracks and had a kind of type of membership that allowed everyone a certain access to all the tracks. Because I've been in the sport 3 years, and I still have only driven the NNKC track, Desert Park Raceway. I want to go to Prairie City. I want Dixon, Davis. I want to go to all those. It's just, I haven't made it yet. So I'm hoping
Donald
that's
Durbin,
going to happen.
If you're listening, Steve Kemp, if you're listening, Jessica Luther, if you're listening, call Luke and come up with a NorCal pit pass where karters can get a reduced membership to join all the tracks. Make it happen.
Well, I think it'd be great. I mean, we had talked about, we spitball things of like that, where if you have a primary membership to one of the regional clubs, that if you wanted a secondary non-voting membership to another club, you could get that at a reduced price, which would allow you access to the track. Yep. We kind of thought that there'd be an interest in that from some people that really want to diversify their driving. And so something that maybe we talk about in the future.
Yeah. No, that's a great idea. I'm going to tag them all on those posts too. Because there's a lot of families that there are some, they will only go to one track. That's the track they want to go to. They're comfortable. That's it. And then there's they travel all over. And that would be a great way to grow the membership for all the tracks.
I think it would be great. I mean, if you're a member of Prairie City or Kinsman and you say, you know what, I want a key to NNKC, you show us that you're a member of your primary track club and then pay a half membership or whatever it is, and you have a key to NNKC too. No. Yeah.
Well, maybe we could start it by Reno doing it first and just getting the word out there. And if you guys get something in writing, and I'll share the hell out of it on NorCal-Karters, because that's exactly what we need, and more thinking along those lines.
Well, I would love to take credit for it, but this was not my idea. I think I heard it from someone else in the karting community. So someone else had this great idea. I'm just passing it along here. But I think it would be something that would benefit the region and just as an option for some karters. That's all.
Yeah. No, I love it. Like I said, if you shoot me over some info on it, I'll share the heck out of it. And it almost doesn't matter if you guys have any joint working relationship with the other clubs. If I'm a member at Blue Max, I show you my card. You guys just honor it and go, okay, this is the reduced price. And then the word will get out there, and the other clubs will go, they're doing a great thing. Let's do the same thing.
If it comes to that, then that's great, because that's the goal, is to get kind of a reciprocation going along
Yep.
with all of the clubs, and thus you can have multiple memberships. But the key thing for us, and I know I still have to run this by my membership for sure before we did anything, but the key would be a secondary membership would be a non-voting. We wouldn't want to get into that the club politics of being able to get multiple votes in different clubs. So that would be one of those in the weeds area we'd have to hash out before we got the full details.
Yeah. No, I understand that. But I'm definitely going to be waiting to hear more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I think that would be a good step in the right direction for a lot of people. Well, is there anything?
We'll see if any.
Is there anything else you want to throw out there or wrap up with?
Well, just want to make sure that I mention one of our longtime sponsors of the club, Acme Boiler, out of the Bay Area. They've been a long supporter of our club every year, and just want to make sure that they get recognition for helping our club out. We appreciate it.
Acme Boiler.
Acme Boiler, yes.
Okay, and what do they do?
I don't think they're resident. They are industrial heating and cooling boiler systems. They one of their kids is one of our members, and he's a longtime racer, and his family supports the club.
Perfect. Yeah, that's one of the great things about this sport. We're able to rub elbows with just some great people. And a lot of times, it's just that little added help that a club or a series needs just to kind of put some things right over the top for them.
Yeah, I mean, the clubs that get some support from the community just have that much more of a leg up and an ability to do some things, which, if done right, really comes out to a finished product in terms of the racing and the experience, whatever it is. And that's what we're trying to do. We've all along talked about how we want to have a race environment at NNKC where obviously inclusive and safe, but also just interesting and exciting and fun, and not the typical racing, which is fine. But I mean, you can get club racing at any club. We want to make it so that an NNKC club race is kind of how you would expect a Reno area kind of thing to be, a little bit different, a little bit more over the top, got a little bit more going on. We got some really great food trucks that come out. We get some announcing going on out there. We've fully staffed, so it's run really well, timely. So, I mean, these are the things that we're trying to do from a club standpoint to draw more people in, come race with us, see how we run things, and go from there. So that's kind of what our goal is going forward.
So you actually have food trucks that come out?
Yes. Yeah. And for KPX, we'll get multiple food trucks. So there's probably 2, 3, 4 different options for people. But on our race day, we usually just pick one truck, have them come out. They do a great job. And we really have never had any serious problems with our food trucks, other than a few breakdowns. But I mean, we've never had a no-show from just nothing like that. We have some good partners in the food truck area here in Reno, and the food is excellent. So that's one draw too, is that you're going to get some good food if you come to our racing. Okay.
That's funny that you say breakdowns, because in the past I've tried to organize some food trucks, and it's always about, well, how many numbers can you bring, and that determines how many trucks you can book. And I'd have to say 30% of the time I got the excuse, oh, our truck broke down.
Oh, no, now you're making me think that all those breakdowns weren't actual breakdowns now. Because, last year I had probably 2 that I mean, I believe them, and I still do. They literally were a mile and a half away, and the axle snapped, or the compressor broke, and they had no hot or cold food. So I mean, I believe them because they lost a lot of food on that one, and we really have never let down a food vendor that came out, because our our fans and our racers and their family members and everyone that comes out supports our food trucks. So I know that when they're out there, they're slanging food like crazy and doing a good job. So they want to come out year after